This video is going to be all about becoming an absolute legend at footlocks. If you have a strong footlock, it's really an amazing tool you can use against very high-level opponents. And once you understand the things we're going to go over today, which we're going to split up into two sections, one is going to be the actual footlock itself, and two, using Ashi Garami to keep your partner away for long enough where you can make the necessary adjustments to actually break their leg. Understanding these two things is what's going to give you such a great ability to footlock literally anyone you want. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is the actual mechanic of breaking the ankle itself. If I have my partner in front of me, the worst thing that can happen, and this is a really good way I want you guys to gauge your footlock, is how much movement it needs to create enough tension in my ankle lock to actually break it and put pressure through my partner. For example, right now, I'll take a really bad grip. Even with an Ashi Garami placed in like so, look how long it's going to take Freddie to tap, if he even taps. Look how long it's going to take me to get it. And watch the movement it requires. I can't. Maybe, I don't know if it goes close, but you see how much movement that took? How common do you find that come up into your training? I'm sure if you're watching this video, it's probably something that's come up. And it's the reason is you don't actually understand the mechanical tension required to actually break an ankle. Okay, what do I need when I want to break an ankle? What I need to do is isolate this ankle itself. The best way to isolate a limb is to put a fulcrum underneath it and then apply a pressure with leverage. Okay, the fulcrum we always want to use is our forearm at the Achilles tendon, where I now want to create a nice seal to the ankle. Okay, what I'm going to look to do is this. The fulcrum, which comes across the Achilles, is going to come high towards my chest. See my fingers? Now that my hand is high, I reinforce it by taking this hand and I go underneath and I lift and I'll grab my own wrist. So now I take this nice high fulcrum, I come high, and look how where my hands are. My hands are high on my chest. Okay, that's step one. Once I have a strong fulcrum, I need to do now is create tension. Guys, think of a string. If I had a loose string here and I asked Freddie to snap it, well, he would just put his arm through it and it would just dangle everywhere. If I pulled the string really tight and I asked Freddie to flick it, it will snap. That's the same thing I'm trying to get in the ankle, in the ligaments and tendons of the ankle. So I take my fulcrum and I make sure it's nice and low on the ankle. One great way to do that is I take this hand and I put the heel of my hand inside his calf muscle. And I use that to push him in place. So right now, it's low, I just push. And now I get that nice high fulcrum. Once I have this great position on the ankle, all I'm looking to do is create mechanical tension. What's a great way to do that? By taking my left elbow to my hip and then to my back here. And you'll see Freddie's already stressing out. Okay, once we have this, we have to understand what's breaking the ankle. Okay, it's not an upper body movement. It's movement of my hips. Either swaying this direction, hip thrusting in. This is what breaks an ankle. That's why you see all the time, you get an ankle lock and you feel like you've exhausted your range. Because if I use my spine between concave and convex, I don't have as much ability to break, whereas if I use my hips. See how much more movement I have in opposed to my spine? Right? I'm not Shakira, right? I need to be doing more hips. So here, I take my hand, I place my fulcrum, the forearm at the Achilles, and I raise it high. Once my fulcrum is high, all I need to do is lever my elbow to my back here. And you'll see Freddie's hating it. Once we get this, I want to apply as much pressure as possible by squeezing my elbows to my body. And once we're here, we understand how do we break. It's going to be with my hips. So I take his foot to the mat and I hip into it. No upper body movement. It's my hips. And you'll see if I get a break this quick, imagine if I did this, right? It's not looking very good, okay? And guys, by the way, check out my school community in the caption, one-on-one coaching. We can work one-on-one to make sure you're actually nailing these techniques, because I have no idea if you're actually getting it, right? I would love to see it one-on-one. You send me your videos, I'll break it down, I'll make sure you actually get really, really good. So again, my partner's ankle in place. I place a high fulcrum, I put that high pressure, and it's all over. Once we understand this, we have to understand how to place an Ashi Garami or a leg entanglement to make sure my partner can't actually do anything, okay? It's all well and done if I grab an ankle and then Freddie disappears. For example, he comes up head over head, starts breaking my Ashi Garami, knocking my knees away. Or I get to the position, I grab it, oh, I've got him, and he just rolls out off the mat, and I lose it, oh no. I need an ability to hold my partner in place. So now we understand how do we break an ankle. We break it by applying as much mechanical tension as possible. One, by placing a high fulcrum, levering the ankle down below us by taking our elbow to our hip, and then using our hips to break. But when it comes to Ashi Garami, here's my 2 goals. One, to keep Freddie's head away from me. So right now, see this lateral position? And there's a reason why most ankle locks that work is when your partner's head is away from your head. If Freddie gets head over my head, well, now I can't break him, right? I need some ability to take Freddie's head away from me, all while that fulcrum is in place. And you can see in this position, guys, the break is quick. And that's the reaction I want, that quick, oh, you got me, reaction, not this shit. Right, where I'm sending it to try and finish the ankle lock. So, I'm gonna teach you guys how to use a false hook in order to stop him. The strength and integrity of Freddie's leg is gonna come from his knee coming over his foot and then his hip coming over his knee. Okay, so how do I beat the integrity here? By using the false hook. And I'm gonna use this to take his knee either inside the line of his hip or outside the line of his hip. My false hook comes in place, and the first we'll look at is inside. So go that direction, on the ground, in Ashi Garami. If I'm just here and I'm lazy with Ashi Garami, well, Freddie starts coming up and it's very easy. Right, come back, Freddie. I use my false hook to make sure his knee stays outside the line of his foot, his hip and heel. This line is a line I'm worried about. As Freddie tries to come up, I hold him in place. See that hook? Try and get up, Freddie. It stops him. The goal with Ashi Garami is to entangle your partner's legs long enough that you can take weight off the ankle, apply a high fulcrum, lever the ankle through, and then break it with your hips. So, I get my Ashi Garami back. I've got the false hook, and I use this to keep his knee out wide. Go ahead. When Freddie tries to get head over head here, it's impossible. This is buying me time to start getting to my position, putting on strong Ashi Garami and getting that reaction, that beautiful, scared reaction out of your partner. That's what you want. You want the ability to hold your partner in place with Ashi Garami long enough that he has no ability to defend, okay? The second thing I can do with a false hook is as Freddie starts coming up, is I can use it to turn his knee inwards. Now Freddie try and get head over head. Well, now you'll see, if we just turn, that way, Freddie. That if I just allow Freddie's knee to come over his foot, well, now he stands up and he cooks me. So, I use the false hook, this time the knee on the outside of his knee, to turn his knee inwards. Now Freddie try and come up. Impossible. If Freddie goes to roll through, I allow the roll through, I catch him on the way through. I can stop position like so, and the exact same thing happens. I apply mechanical tension. How? I bear weight through his ankle while keeping the fulcrum high, and now look how little movement it takes to break. And guys, you really have to pray for Freddie after this video because I've been attacking his ankles like crazy. Right, another Ashi Garami we can use is like a single leg X or a Rimi Ashi Garami. All my goals again, guys, all my goals, be able to take weight off his foot so I can alleviate this head over head position by taking his knee either outside the line of his hip and heel, where he would fall down, or inside it. Sorry. Where now his knee's internally rotated when he tries to come towards me. It's impossible. So, I have my ankle lock grip. Okay? As Freddie tries to come over me, I just connect my knee to my heel, and I break him down. And I have the same position. Now look where my hands are. Is my fulcrum in a good place? No, of course not. Remember what I said earlier? I can use the heel of my hand, place it in his calf muscle, and come low. Okay? And it's disgusting for your partner. Right? As Freddie goes to defend himself here, go ahead. I have the fulcrum perfect. Freddie, do you feel like you can defend this? No. That's what you want, guys. That's why Freddie needs your hopes and prayers right now. So guys, all in all, what's the goal? Our goal with the footlock, and this video really should teach you two things. One, how am I getting a good break in the ankle? By applying a fulcrum low on the joint where I'm trying to attack, making sure the fulcrum is high, just the same way that you would snap a stick over your leg, okay? You would take the knee nice and high, you would take the 2 points and you would snap it. Same thing, the fulcrum is the knee. I lift it nice and high, I put my hands together, and I apply mechanical tension by pulling slack out of the string. Once we understand that, we need to be able to place an Ashi Garami in place long enough that your partner can't roll away, and they can't get head over head, and they can't disentangle your legs. And the best way to do that is to use either a false hook or whatever Ashi Garami you like, but making sure your partner's knee internally rotates or externally rotates. So he has no ability to stack his knee, hip, and heel over your body and create a strong posture. If this video was sick, subscribe. Pray for Freddie's ankles because I just demolished them. And if you want one-on-one guidance to get super duper good, get your matches and footage analyzed, get weekly lesson plans, one-on-one guidance from an absolute beast like this guy over here, hit up my school community in the caption. We can get going. Freddie, you're a beast.